everyone, we are going to make the cutest amigurumi today. It's an egg sunny side up. Who does not like an egg sunny side up? It's super cute and you can make this in no time. Here are the supplies that you need: your yellow and white yarn. You're going to be needing a little bit of black yarn to sew on the lips, a little bit of stuffing. We'll be needing 2 eyes and a stitch marker, a needle to fasten off, and of course a scissor. In regards to the yarn, it says 3.5 to 4.5 size crochet hook. I'm personally going to be using 3.5 millimeter today. We are going to start out with our egg yolk, the top part. We're going to do a magic ring. The way I do my magic ring is I go clockwise around my finger and I do counterclockwise between these 2 fingers. I go underneath the yarn, I pull a loop and I chain 1. We are going to be starting out with 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So by the end of this round, you're going to have 6 stitches. That was your first single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker and mark the first stitch, and we have 5 more single crochets to do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you should have 6 single crochet. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna tighten my magic ring right here, and we're gonna start with our round number 2 for the egg yolk. Go ahead and take out your stitch marker. Here's our stitch number 1. For this next round, we are going to do an increase in every single stitch. So every single stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets. So you're going to end up with 12 stitches at the end. So I'm not even going to slip stitch. I'm just going to work right into my first stitch. So this was my first single crochet. And go ahead and mark your first stitch. We're going to do a second single crochet into the same stitch. So now we've worked 2 single crochets into stitch number 1. We're going to do the same in stitch number 2. Here's 1, another single crochet into the same stitch. And here's our last stitch. We're going to do another 2 single crochets. Okay, so now you should have 12 stitches. Just count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for the next round, we are going to increase every other stitch. So this is our first stitch right here. We're going to do a single crochet, go straight into that stitch and make your single crochet. No need to slip stitch or anything. So there was a single crochet into the second stitch right here. We are going to do 2 single crochets. So that's going to be our increase right here. 1, 2, and we're going to repeat that. So we're going to do a single crochet into the 3rd stitch, and then we're going to do an increase in the 4th stitch. 1, and here's our increase, 2. Okay, we're going to repeat that all around, and we should be ending up with 18 stitches at the end of this round. So we're going to do a single crochet, and then into the next stitch we're going to do an increase of 1. So we do 1 and 2 into the same stitch, single crochet, and then an increase, 1, 2, single crochet, and an increase, 1, 2. We have 2 stitches left, so single crochet, and then the last stitch we're going to do an increase. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet and another single crochet into the same stitch. Okay, count to make sure you have 18 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the mark stitch is our 18th stitch. After you have counted that you have 18 stitches, we're going to do one more round, just 1 single crochet into each stitch. So that should be 18 stitches. Here's our stitch number 1. We're just going to single crochet and go ahead and mark it. So that was stitch number 1, and you should have 17 more single crochets. This was number 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 18 stitches. I'm just gonna slip stitch into the first stitch, go ahead and fasten off all of your tails, and I'm going to meet you back to put on the eyes. So this is your round number 1. I think I'm going to put in my eyes just right outside round number 1. That looks about right to me. That looks good to me. And then you just put the ends here, and it snaps right apart. Here are the eyes. I just put on some black yarn for the mouth. I think I'm just gonna go right here. Just go ahead and leave a tail. And I'm gonna go from underneath in the middle a little bit below. And then you can I go ahead and put a knot in the back if you like to. For me, I just wrap it around all the other ones. This gets all stuffed in to the middle. Now we are going to do the main part, which starts out with the yellow and then the white around. We're gonna start out with the yellow. Do your magic ring and chain 1. This was single crochet number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this, and we are going to do 6 single crochets into our magic ring. So that was number 1. This was number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. tighten up your magic circle, and just like the egg yolk, we are going to do a single crochet or 2 single crochets in each of the 6 stitches. So after the next round, we are going to end up with 12 stitches. So this is our first stitch right here. That's our first single crochet. Go ahead and mark your first stitch. And we're going to do another single crochet into the same stitch. So that's going to be an increase. So we did 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So our first round had 6 stitches. We're going to do 2 single crochets into each of these 6 stitches. So by the end of the next round, you should have 12 stitches. So here's stitch number 2. This was our first single crochet, and now we're going to do a second single crochet into the same stitch. Here's our third stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochets in this one as well. 1, 2, and we're going to do that all around. Here's our last stitch, the 6th stitch. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. So after this round, you should have 12 stitches. Make sure you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So for the next round, we are going to do a single crochet into stitch number 1 and then an increase into stitch number 2. So we have 12 stitches right now, and after the next round, we should have 18. So single crochet and increase, single crochet, increase. So this is our stitch number 1. We're going to do just a simple single crochet. Go ahead and mark your first stitch. And in stitch number 2, we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Single crochet, increase. We're going to do that all around. So 1 single crochet followed by an increase. This is 1, 2 into the same stitch. Now we have a single crochet, and now we're going to have an increase. 1, 2. Go ahead and do it all the way until the end. Here I am down to my last 2 stitches. Once again, we do 1 single crochet and an increase into the last one. 2. Make sure you count your stitches. You should have 18 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. For round number 4, we are going to change over to our white yarn. Okay, so here's our first stitch. So round 4, we're going to start out with an increase into stitch number 1, and then we do 2 single crochets. Okay, so between the 3 stitches, we're doing 1 increase. Increase, single crochet, single crochet. So right now we have 18 stitches, and if you follow this pattern, we're going to end up with 24 stitches. So that was our first single crochet in round 4. We're going to put another single crochet into the same stitch. So I did 2 single crochets into stitch number 1, and now we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 single crochet and single crochet number 2. Now we're going to repeat that. We're going to increase, single crochet, single crochet. So here's our increase, 1 and another one into the same stitch, and followed by 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Increase, single crochet, all the way around. Here's my increase, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets. Now we're going to do an increase, followed by 2 singles. Continue that until the end. I'm down to my last 3 stitches. We're going to do that one more time. Increase, followed by 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Go ahead and count your stitches. You should have 24 stitches after round number 4. So we're going to start out with 4 single crochets. That is 1. I'm going to go ahead and mark my first stitch as always. So 4 single crochets. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Into our 5th stitch, we're going to do a single crochet and a half double crochet all in one stitch. So here's the single and a half double into the same stitch, followed by a half double and a double into the next one. Half double and a double. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1 double crochet, second double crochet into the same stitch. Now we're going to do a double crochet and a half double. That was our double. Here's our half double crochet, and then we're going to do a half double and a single crochet into the next stitch, half double and a single crochet into the same stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets. Single crochet number 1 just by itself, and then into the next stitch we're going to do another single crochet. Into the next stitch we're going to have a half double and a double into one stitch. So here's the half double followed by a double into the same stitch, into the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets, that was 1 double, and that was double crochet number 2. And in the following stitch we're going to do a double crochet and a half double crochet, double and a half double into the same stitch, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 in each of the next stitch. Okay, so 1 single crochet, the second single crochet into the next stitch, not in the same stitch, that was number 2, and a third single crochet by itself, so that was number 3. And into the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet and a half double, single and a half double. The next stitch we're going to do 2 half doubles into the same stitch, that's 1, 2, and then we're going to do a half double and a single crochet, half double, single, followed by one single crochet by itself, and then we're going to do a half double crochet and a double into the same stitch, half double and a double into the same stitch, and then we're going to do, so we're down to our last 2 stitches here. Second to last stitch, we're going to do a double and a half double into the same stitch. So here's our double and a half double into the same stitch, and for the last stitch we're just going to do one single crochet. Here we go. So after round 5 you should have 37 stitches. And so if you want to make sure, just count. We are down to our last round. This would be round number 6, and this is our first stitch, and we're gonna do one single crochet into each of the stitches. So we should have 37 single crochets. So that was number 1, and just single crochet 1 in each stitch. 2, 3, 4. This was number 36, and here's my last stitch, 37. Okay, so after round number 6 you should have 37 stitches. Again, you can cut off the yarn and weave in all the ends, and then I'll meet you at the next steps. To weave off this end, I like to do an invisible join. So this was the last stitch, right? And this is our first stitch. So this is how you do an invisible join. I'm gonna go not into the next one, but I'm gonna go into the second stitch, front to back, and then I'm gonna go back into the original stitch right here. I'm gonna go from the front, I'm gonna grab the back loop as well, and I'm gonna pull it about the same height, so it's a nice and clean finish. So go ahead and weave in all the ends. The main body is done. I weaved in all my ends, and now all is left is for us to assemble these 2 parts. So see whatever you like, and you line it up here, and all of the threads from the egg yolk can be stay there, so it's nice stuffing. And if you need a little bit more stuffing, just put it in before you close it up. So the way I'm gonna sew it is I don't go over the edge, but I go in between, so we can still see the nice braided look of our egg. So I just go down and I go back up here. I go down and basically go back up here, and I don't go outside of the edge stitch because I want to see the edge stitch. It looks pretty. And then just line it up with the yellow part from the main body. I think I'm going to do a little bit more stuffing, but I'm going to sew it close a little bit more before I put in the stuffing. You can use any stuffing that you prefer, and if you don't have any stuffing at home, just use some leftover yarn pieces. That'll work as well. I like my amigurumi a little bit nice and round and fat, kind of like me. And just sew in the end. And you are done with your egg amigurumi. Who loves sunny side up? If you like this tutorial, love for you to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Thank you.